What's up, Hillbillies? By the end of this video, you are gonna know how to grow potatoes in this 5-gallon bucket. Let's get started. All right, the first thing you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna get any old 5-gallon bucket, and you're gonna wanna drill holes in the bottom. As you're drilling holes in the bottom, you just wanna make sure there's plenty of drainage. Potatoes do not like wet feet. Has this ever happened to you? You bought some potatoes, you forgot about it, and they start to chit like this. Well, we can induce them to chit more. These aren't quite good enough, but once they start, what if you grew them instead? These aren't fancy potatoes, these are yellow Idaho potatoes, and I just got them from Walmart for dinner. I did not buy them to grow, but they started to grow anyways. So I'm gonna show you how to encourage them chitting, and that's gonna take a little bit of time, and we're gonna come back. So step one is you're gonna wanna get these to chit a little bit more. Once they're chit fully, then we'll come back and do the planting, which will be in the 5-gallon bucket part. So a few weeks before you wanna plant them, this is the step that you should take. Step one, get a bowl or container or something. This is just something I had lying around. Step two, put them in there. I'm putting the sides that have chitted the most facing up. And then step three, set them in a window. And then wait for time to pass. Optionally, you can put some water on the bottom or some moist soil. I've got some pre-moistened soil. Just gonna break it apart in here. They don't need to be really buried, just kind of in that soil. Set them here like this. And this one's too big to fit in there. Let's give this one to be a control. I'm just gonna set this guy without soil next to it, and we'll see what happens. After they're done, you're just gonna wait and give it time to pass. I'm gonna wait 14 days, but that time may vary depending on where you're at, your soil conditions and lighting conditions, moisture conditions in your area. While we're waiting, have you ever wondered what potatoes are and where the heck they came from? Let's see if we can answer that question. But in order to do that, we're gonna have to take a little trip to Peru. Currently we're in the Sacred Valley near Pisac, and we're going to an indigenous Quechua village called Viacha. We're gonna be learning about potatoes, potato farming. We're gonna see all kinds of things, even potatoes that Gordon Ramsay didn't see. That's right, who's the donkey now, Gordon? If you're not interested in learning about the history of potatoes, you can go ahead and jump to this timestamp. It's gonna take you back to the how-to video for the 5-gallon bucket. Now, if you are interested, most people don't know potatoes are so abundant everywhere. People think about the Idaho potato. Well, guess what? The potatoes were initially cultivated by the Peruvians. They were local, and today we're gonna be going to a village way, way high up in the Andes Mountains to show you that. The Spanish, when they came over, discovered this. Some potatoes can be stored up to 500 years, which you're about to see here in a moment. We're gonna show you a remote village that is off the beaten path. We're gonna show you the traditional way to plant and grow the tomatoes, and then we're gonna take you back home and show you how to grow your own 5-gallon tomatoes from the bucket. Let's get to it. All right, guys, we're here at 13,000 feet, and we are going to be going in and checking out many varieties of potatoes. I apologize for my voice in advance, but these potatoes are many varieties. The University of Peru came and actually documented them, so it's quite incredible. We'll see. Let's get to it. So here we are seeing all of the cereals. What? Quinoa family. Legumes, looks like. Look at all these potatoes. Look at this potato. Cheun-Yos and Marayas. Marayas. These are the dried ones.
One Marayas here. And we have more varieties over here.
More potatoes, more potatoes. They're sprouting, so we're probably gonna be planting these in a moment. Here's all the different corn for the cereal grains. Even more types of potatoes. Beans.
She say like, just in this community they have 185 varieties of potato. So the university from Cusco, the University of San Antonio Abad de Cusco come here and put it in the National Register of Potatoes, these 185. There are different kind of shapes, different kind of colors, and also different kind of process that they can make farming this area. of course, different kind of levels as well. So then we wanna see different kind more potatoes here that he's gonna explain to now. So we wanna know about the names that these potatoes have, and most of the names have a Quechua names, and most of the Quechua names coming from the shape of the potatoes, for example. No? So the name of this potato is called kiwillo, is because the shape is like rolled. So in Spanish we say enrollado. No? When they like harvest the potato, and the view is really colorful. So the red is really like red color. So they refer this to the ladies, the young ladies that they call pasñachas. And in the other hand here, we have here this yellow color that is referring for the young men, machtachas. So for the young men and for the young ones. Red one and yellow one. For example, this one is called Jello Talaq. Is because llana in English language means like black color, and also because it's like plain. Like here, and there are different kind of size, like small ones, big ones, large ones, different kind of black. No? You wanna give us a knife just for sure?
Knife?
Oh, he has. This is the llana, no? Here.
Be careful.
Sorry, it's in the other way.
Oh, it's yellow.
It's a yellow one.
Vamos a sacar un churuspi.
It's churuspi.
Churuspi. Has the purple inside.
Upper one inside. So now look for different like colors of potatoes that we have here.
It's a different kind, but it's purple.
Different kind, but still be purple. More purple inside.
Hay dos colores de esta, el rojito, después el negro. La papa es bien negra.
A ver, ayúdale a identificar otro que sea diferente al morado. It's more entire purple, no?
Wow.
Wanna talk about this potato?
Hay variedades de esto, es morado sus ojos y otro es negro y el otro es rojo. Así.
The name of this potato is Casu Machaki. Yeah, it's like coming the name from one traditional like custom we have here in the Andes that say that you have your mother. It's like the potato that makes cry your mother-in-law.
Oh.
Why? Because if you bring your girlfriend to your house, the first challenge that you have as a part of the family is cutting this rock. If they say you don't cut it like correctly or peel it correctly, is that you not deserve be part of that family. So that's why people are crying. This is another variety that we have here that is called año. These guys say that these have a big difference between this one and the other kind of potatoes because this is more acid.
Acidic.
Yeah, acidic.
It's still okay for humans to eat?
Sí, ahorita les explico. Y los años son ácidos algunos y algunos no tan fuertes. Entonces,
It's the same all the way through.
Beginning this, you can eat this probably like normally like boiled. Boil it, you can eat it in the breakfast or in like a farming journey. Just boil it, put some with cheese and there. They say in the beginning you try directly is good for many diseases that we have here, stomach disease most of them. You try the acid part, but you don't want to eat it this acid. You have to like put it in the ground, maybe over plastic, and let dry for 3 or 4 days, and they wanna turn from acid to sweet.
Oh.
They wanna turn to acid to sweet. ¿No?
sí, entonces, como le decía, últimamente los doctores han recomendado para la enfermedad cálculos, entonces también los años negros para la próstata.
Oh, prostate. You know the prostate is?
Prostate?
The prostate, yeah. It's good for the prostate.
Oh.
So,
La negra,
The black ones are good for the prostate.
The black ones are good for the prostate. So you have those problems, come to Peru and try this. A lot of these potatoes.
There's purple inside.
Purple inside. This is a book that the university made for, and they register here all the potatoes that we have it here.
Wow.
In total, 185 varieties of potatoes. Usually, during June, July, they have more varieties of potato, and this time of the year, they don't have a lot because they already put it in there. They already farming there. So they are farming for one entire month, put the seeds on the ground, excavate all the area, doing farming, and after 6 months, they can harvest, right?
Yeah, harvest. 6 months.
6 months.
Okay.
So this community will harvest this in approximately May and June.
May and June.
In the next year.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because they already made it.
Let's talk about food preservation, right? We have refrigeration, all that stuff of modern times. Here's how you can actually take the potatoes and you can store them for over 500 years. This is called Cheun-Yos, and this is called Marayas. And I'm going to explain the process of how the Incans used to use these. And these have been found by the mummies 500 years ago. And you can just put them in water just like modern ones. This is still a preservation process they're using. And that 500-year-old one is able to be eaten, no problem. So the first one is, when the farmers farm potatoes, they're going to sell it to the markets. They're going to get the biggest ones, and they're going to sell it to the markets. If you take small potatoes to the market, no one's going to buy it. So they separate the potatoes out. Then they're going to take the small ones, and they're going to eat it for themselves. And then if you just take the potatoes and store them as is, they'll store for about 9 months. These are 9 months old, and they're starting to grow. These are 5 months old, and they're starting to grow. So it's not a very long storage mechanism. So in the month of June, which in the southern hemisphere is the winter time, they're going to take the Cheun-Yos, the small potatoes, right after sunset, they're going to put them outside. And the freezing cold temperature and wind is going to blow across them. And then they have to wake up before the sun and move them into the shade. They pile them into a pile. Then that night they uncover them, and then the next morning before the sun comes up, they cover them back up, and so on and so forth, for about 2 weeks. And then it'll look like this, but inside of it will still have a little bit of liquid. So what they do is they step on them, and as they step on them, the Cheun-Yos, the liquid will come out. As the liquid comes out, then they freeze it some more, and it becomes dried like this. This method is still used today, and you can eat these potatoes and they'll still retain all the caloric intake that they had. Probably less than when they were fresh, but you can store food for long, long periods of time. Now the Marayas is a little bit different. Rather than stomping everything out, they peel the potato at that point, go to the river, and they soak them in the river. The river water washes over them, and it oxidizes it, and that's why it turns red. But this is an example of how sustainable these communities have been, that even today with all the modern conveniences, they're still just doing things the old way because it makes the most sense. Here is where the storage of the potatoes takes place. You can see this used to be a house, this was a window, and now this is just potato storage. For 9 months they keep it here for their personal use. Oh, they're all growing up.
Ahí estaba mi montón, ahora cuando hemos sembrado está todo, pero ahí está, ahí nos toca.
So they keep it dark, so it grows on purpose? Can they still eat it when it grows?
Cuando crecen las raíces, ¿puedes comerlas aún?
No. O sea, no lo he entendido más o
Ya,
menos.
dice que por más que crezcan las raíces, ¿puedes aún comer la papa?
Sí, normal se puede comer.
He say normal, you can eat it.
You just take off the...
Yeah, just take it off.
And these have been stored here for 9 months?
¿Cuántos meses lo mantienen acá?
Los 9 meses después.
Lo
escogemos, ¿no? Cuando está en un montón lleno de esta casa.
And are they saving these for planting?
Los pequeñitos nos llevaba a la chacra de ahora. Ya no hay loco, los llevaba cerca de una cosa. Los grandes para consumo.
Yeah, so he said like the biggest one are going for the normal consume for them, and the smallest one they go for farming. Las más pequeñas son las que siembran.
Oh, so they're genetically selecting for small ones then.
Sí, seleccionan las más pequeñas para poner en tierra. They select the smallest ones for farming.
Yeah, but every year they're trying to grow even smaller and smaller ones. They don't realize it.
Sí, cada año trabaja más, salen más pequeñas.
Sí, hay bastante, digamos, de diferentes tamaños.
They are different kind of size, but every year is less bigger, smaller.
But what they can do is, if they wanted to, is maybe save some of the best ones, maybe 10%. 90% of the big ones go to the market, 10% save for planting.
Yeah, exactly. They do that. Yeah. Lo que mejor pueden hacer es guardar el 90% para el consumo, los mejores, y los mejores enviarlos a vender, y los pequeños quedan. So he said also, like, usually all the entire place of this are covered by in June.
Oh. In June it's completely full, and this is basically they ate their steros over the winter.
Exactly, yeah.
Wow. Wow. Muy bueno.
No, hemos llevado todo a sembrar.
So because we are almost like, they used to farm in October, November, so they put it all the small like potatoes from this storage to the farming areas.
What was the name of the tool?
Oh, the name of the tool is chakitakia.
The chakitakia.
It's an ancient like tool that we use for farming, and the local people that here at this elevation still just use this.
They're still using it.
Yeah.
So this is not for show. They use it every day.
And this is the next generation that will be alive for the next 20.
Right, because everybody here, how old is everybody here?
¿Cuántos años tienen, papichas?
¿Nosotros? Yo tengo 22 años.
¿Y tú, mami?
22.
13. 15.
15. So everyone's learning to use the old ways.
They always.
Wow.
They want to preserve.
And that's the next generation.
The next generation. They want to preserve. They want to teach the same like this kind of like farming activity to their sons.
So all their blanket they use mainly for bags?
And this stuff is called jikia.
It's a jikia.
This kind of blanket that they use it, not using only for carry stuff like water like that. They use for carrying the seeds, the fertilizer, and also the baby. That is
So it's like a
jikia.
backpack. It's not really a blanket.
It's not. It's like exactly. It's not like a blanket. It's like a backpack. They can carry also the babies here. inside.
Right.
Yeah.
And so here's the potatoes? Oh no, that's fertilizer.
Fertilizer is the poo from our favorite animals.
Okay, so we're just using this to break the ground up. It's kind of like a big crowbar. And it's actually pretty ergonomic. I would have thought it would be more difficult. But no, es fácil. No es fácil. Es fácil, es fácil. Oh, so now we just go. So when are we planting the potatoes?
Vamos a voltearlo, entonces se golpea y vamos a plantar las patas ahí.
So first we break all the dirt?
Normally they make this process January, February, that is like the last part of the rainy season. And it's like the soil is more soft.
Oh.
It's more easily to like put it all out.
So we're just doing this now for show for us.
Yeah, it's so
So this will be softer because it'll be after all of the rainy season in the future. Oh, now we're mixing in the poop?
yeah. No, they are putting the poo in the jikia in this plastic to show how they use it.
But they're going to put that in here?
Yeah.
So they're just they're tilling the land up and then they just break it apart.
Ahora vamos a sembrar.
So this is when they were saying that the husband and the wife, all the Inca time, this is what they would do. The husband, the man are responsible for getting the ground, and the women would go behind, and this was a teamwork.
The ladies come like supported the farming at the same time like providing the food and drink. So one of the ladies, this is an ancient technique that the people used like 500 years ago. 500 years later, they still use it. So the lady here in the left side have the fertilizer, the food for the animals, And on the right side, she has the potato.
And those are the backpack blankets.
Exactly, backpack blankets and blankets. Okay, so we're gonna see like how they move.
Well, that's incredible. That's a lot of poop.
Acá está ya sembrado, acá abajo ya no vamos a sembrar.
And then here, too far, more?
Sí, está bien.
Try not to screw up their spacing.
Así. Allá.
Oh. Impressive.
How do you feel?
I feel great. It's hard work being a potato farmer. And so right now it is it's December. When do they normally plant potatoes?
¿Cuándo normalmente planta las?
Octubre.
In October.
So we're planting late.
We are planting late. Yeah, and also in the last month there was a lot of rain here. But basically we have a rain before in September, October. We can plant it now. But now the air is still being dry. So it's not proper time to that because the air is dry. It's not soft. We're putting it out. Yeah.
Okay. Muy bien. All right, we have some potatoes here that are sprouting. I did not create these to sprout. We just had them sit in here for too long. We got onion sprouting there. It's just that time of year, I guess. We got sprouting potatoes. I'm gonna show you guys what to do with these next. I also went to a local organic store called Mama Jean's, but you know, similar to a Whole Foods or something like that. And I'm gonna show you what we're gonna be doing to these next in preparation for planting. We're just gonna put this guy here. And we're gonna cut these into quarters. It is not necessary to cut them, but I know a lot of people will. I'm gonna find what we want to be the top. Cut this off. Okay. And this is now wet and is susceptible to fungus. You don't want to plant that immediately. So we're just gonna give this for a few days. Set them down. This might sprout, may or may not. You can just plant the whole potato. It's not gonna hurt it either way. We'll leave this one planted, or this one full, now and not. We got plenty to pick from. Look at all these sprouting. And some really exciting, some purple potatoes here. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this one just so we have another comparison. There's some purple potatoes. Bam. Ooh, look how gorgeous that is. Wow. So, this is exciting. It's not as exciting as the Peru potatoes, every which color, every which shape, but we got potatoes ready to go. And next step is we're gonna show you what to do with them here in a few days.
3 days later.
Welcome back, guys. We've got these potatoes that have chitted. And in the meantime, other potatoes have chitted. So we're gonna show you what you've all been waiting for. How to grow potatoes in a 5-gallon bucket. We got the bucket, and we'll get to it right now. You're outside, we go to the compost pile. We have our chitted potatoes. Got the wheelbarrow. And this compost pile. Okay. Alrighty. These were the ones from Walmart. They are chitting there. These are some red potatoes from Walmart that also randomly decided to chit. And these are just some purple potatoes I was able to find at an organic store. And it reminds me a lot of the Peruvian ones that you guys just saw. So I'm really excited to plant these guys. 3 varieties. We got 3 buckets here. So the first thing we're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna make sure these are pre-chitted before you plant them. I know you see snow on the ground right now behind us. You wanna make sure your nights do not drop below 45 degrees, or you need to keep them inside. I'm trying to get these a head start. First thing you're gonna do is you're gonna get about 4 inches of compost underneath. So we're gonna start digging into our compost pile here. This is us recycling the compost from last year. Man, this has not been so good. So the outside layer is frozen. Underneath, it is nice and black soil, black dirt. Oh yeah, this is great. Wow. Okay, So we're just gonna fill up 4 to 6 inches. We're going to do 4 inches here on the bottom. All right. We got 4 inches in the bottom. We're gonna take our potatoes, we're gonna lay them right on the top. Now you see earlier we had some cut potatoes. All right, so we're gonna take our potatoes here. You can see these are already trying to start growing tubers and everything. And look at that. So this is unexpected, which is nice. Put that in the middle. I'm just gonna go ahead and set these guys right in top, right? And then I'm gonna cover that with another 4 to 6 inches of topsoil. When you see on the bucket that they start to grow through that, then you're gonna fill it up one more time. This is the primary medium of where your potatoes are gonna be growing. They're gonna try to grow out, make more tubers, and then grow through it. Once you see it, you're gonna mound more dirt on top. It's gonna grow more. All that area is gonna be new area for potatoes to be. By the end of the season, you're gonna have all of that extra stuff growing out of it. And all comes down to right here, making sure that you have the proper amount of space. So you guys want to see this going in. We're just going to cover this up for another 6 inches. And guys, look at all this black organic material. And this was, remember, this was just recycled stuff from last year from our failed sweet potato project. Oh, here we are. This one's ready to go. Remember, potatoes don't like their feet to be wet. So you're going to want to make sure that you've got this. So whatever your compost is and your watering schedule, as they grow, you're gonna want them to be able to drain out. So you can't overwater them, or it'll be more difficult to overwater them. But any excess, it should hold water well and let out any excess. All right. I'm really interested in these purple potatoes. So we're gonna go on with our second bucket. Remember, again, this first layer is our primary growing medium. Shake that down, get some of this trash out of there. Probably some of our old sweet potato vines, honestly. All right, we're gonna take these chitted potatoes and just place them right on top. All right, then, again, fill that 4 to 6 inches right on top again. Wow, look at that. Okay. And they're ready to go. One more, we're gonna do this red species, whatever it is. And I'm gonna leave some compost. I'm gonna make sure we leave some compost because remember, we're gonna be using this garden for all of our potting stuff and starting our seedlings here in a few weeks. All right, so we take our red ones here, again. All right. Look at that, look at that. Makes you feel Irish, doesn't it? And remember, the Spanish were like, man, we really appreciate this, Peruvians. Let's murder you and everybody, and then we're gonna spread this to the world. Just like beef jerky. All right, bam. And with that, I'm gonna take these 3 back inside. Remember, potatoes are very sensitive. You wanna keep them above 45 at night. If you have a garage or something, you want to start early, you can. I get it cheap. This is basically a big greenhouse. Hey. I'm going to wet these down. And I'm going to water them every once in a while. Again, it's not going to drop below 45 degrees in here. Once I see where the heads chip start to come out again, I'm gonna mound it to the top about 1 inch below the rim. That's just so you can collect more water, and away she goes. That's pretty much it. Guys, if you like this kind of stuff, make sure you like and subscribe. Check out my other channels. I got sweet potato videos. I got a jerky video. If you want me to try something, I'll try it down below. Let me be the guinea pig on that weird thing that you always wondered about. We're gonna keep you updated along the rest of the channel. Remember to like, subscribe. We'll see you next time. Yeah!
Bum, bam, ba-da-ba-ba-bum, bum, bam, ba-da-ba-ba-bum.